So it was August 2023, last summer. We were sat here and we were thinking, what can we do that will celebrate our 18th birthday, that celebrates our community that we have been a part of for all this time, and something that is an event.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? We're known for site responsive theatre. We're known for doing big, unusual things, whether it's in a Boeing 747, whether it's projecting war scenes onto the cathedral, whether it's the Tempest in Stoke Park on lots of locations. So we wanted to make sure that whatever we did had a similar big impact, but also to involve the community with what we do. So the work that we do in schools, the clubs and classes, getting them involved, our young carers, our drama therapy project, and seeing how we might combine it all. So the main reason we decided to create a knife crime awareness project around Romeo and Juliet was the fact that we were working in lots of schools, asking them to be part of the gangs in Romeo and Juliet. And of course there are two murders by stabbing in Romeo and Juliet. So we wanted to make sure that we were responsible with all of that when going into the schools.
And on top of that, we had a stabbing that had happened at the back of our office a couple of summers ago. So it felt even more prevalent to really join those narratives together and do some work around that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the cathedral had the Knife Angel last year. So continuing on from that legacy felt really important to give to the cathedral.
Yeah, and we were working with Pub Watch and the Street Angels, and we also are teaming up with the Kai and Prince Foundation to have Mark Prince come into the schools that we're working with and offer them this amazing opportunity to have these knife crime workshops with somebody that has such first-hand experience of such an event.
Absolutely. Which our Saturday group are going into the University of Surrey, and the law department there are creating a special project for them, and they can be in the courtroom and explore a knife trial as a workshop. And then on the 3rd of July, teaming Charlie's Promise, we have a forum theatre event raising awareness.
We're not pretending that we're in Italy or that we're in the 1920s or something like that. We are in Guildford in 2024. But Romeo and Juliet is a big play, and in the first half we are moving the audience between 7 different locations. So one of the big challenges was about how we can condense those scenes, retain their beauty, the poetry, the humour, the excitement, the danger, whilst at the same time being able to time it so that the audience can move on to different locations. I think one of the things I'm most excited about with directing Romeo and Juliet is because it's such a well-known story and everybody knows something. The two of them have become cultural touchstones in themselves as characters, let alone the whole story. Is that everybody thinks they know the story of Romeo and Juliet, but actually there's a lot of surprises in the play, and something I'd like audiences to come away with is feeling like they've seen it for the very first time, or they're experiencing the story for the very first time. Here we've chosen it to be a play for this town and for this time we're living in. So I really want the characters to embody that and to have that sense that violence erupts where you least think about it, and it comes so quickly and without thinking, that it's not all pervasive time. It happens underneath.
We've got an adult community chorus and a student community chorus, and that involves our Saturday clubs, and it involves 4 different schools in the area. So in October I started approaching the schools, and one of our priorities was to make sure that there were opportunities for schools and students that wouldn't necessarily have extracurricular opportunities, so we made those available.
And then the adult ensemble, they have come from all parts of our community. We had an open audition, a couple of open auditions for people to come along. People, they're going to be populating the ball of the show. But of course then it's a case of we've got 23 shows and we need all of those people to be in different performances. So then it's over to
then it's been rotoring. So I sort of mainly looked after the school's rota, which is all great until suddenly there's a school trip. Or a school drops out and you're suddenly approaching new places or trying to scrabble around, and poor Hannah has been trying to get everyone's availability together for the adult community chorus and juggling all of that. So
rehearsals continue at the same time as the main cast as well, and then it'll be about it's been about also slowly bringing them together, all of those three different casts, if you like, into one big show.
Basically is 4 different groups of people: our Saturdays, 3 schools, and our young carers from King's College. We're going in for 5 sessions, 1 being a fight session, a knife crime awareness session, and then 3 rehearsals. It's a huge amount to get through in such a short amount of time. Working with so many different people, different stakeholders in this. We're thinking about licensing for these children, chaperones, and making sure that the teachers or independent parents are there looking after their children, managing the logistics of drop off, pick up, some kids that we are driving to and from the venue. 64 young people are going to take part in this. That is so many people to think about over the course of this time, and we really hope that there will be a lasting impact for them and a huge legacy of such a enjoyable experience.
one of the big considerations for a project like this is accessibility. So we've worked really hard, not just to include all the iconic buildings in Guildford, but to make sure that there is step-free access. But as well as that, we've made sure that there are 2 static performances just in the castle grounds. If people can't or don't want to walk around, we've got a couple of BSL performances, 1 static, 1 promenade, an audio described, a relaxed performance on this show. Probably one of our most ambitious projects to date, and it's not been without its challenges, and so we've had to apply for road closures for the period of the month that we're rehearsing and performing on the high street. We're working with 7 odd different venues, so Holy Trinity Church, Abbott's Hospital, Castle Grounds, Guildhall, Tumsgate Quarter, so all of those involve lots of liaison, really, don't they?
You know, having to talk with people like Experience Guildford and all of the bars, restaurants, cafes, all the stakeholders on the high street in Tumsgate who we're going to be performing in front of and around so that they can come on board with the show, but at the same time they're not surprised by what we're producing.
Yeah. And of course all of that comes into finite scheduling. We have to be able to, for the tech for example, be able to get to all of these spaces at a time that is least disruptive to them whilst giving us time to rehearse the show. And that's the other thing. We had a brilliant conversation the other day, didn't we, about, well, if you're starting at Holy Trinity and then you're moving to Abbott's Hospital, where is your changing room?
Yeah.
where are you quick changing? Hopefully you're not on the street. So, what does your £28.50 ticket go towards? It pays for a director, a movement director, an intimacy director, a fight director, our education director, our creative learning producer, a set designer, costume designer, lighting designer, and sound designer.
It pays for our marketing team, our administrator, our front of house manager, our box office systems, photographers, filming, transport across the season, accessible performances, so our audio describer, our BSL interpreter.
It pays for 8 professional actors to rehearse and perform in Guildford, 4 stage managers, and enables us to provide work experience for a 5th. It costumes 97 performers, and it pays for the venues, road closures and set. It also pays for the technical team to build the sets and put up the sound and lighting.
It enables the inclusion of 4 schools and a knife crime education workshop within them, our drama clubs, a knife crime awareness forum, the running of our Young Carers Club and their involvement, and a family associated drama therapy project.
And of course, our rehearsal spaces, our workshops, our office, and all the usual core costs and utilities that go with running a theatre company.
By buying your ticket, you have supported GSC and all the work we do. Thank you.
Thank you for buying your ticket.